And I apologize for those lights. The only place I don't have a light's up here, so that means we're going to have to wing it tonight, okay? There's no light.
Slurring his words and using an odd accent, that was Donald Trump starting a speech in Nevada.
They give us plenty of lights, but not to read this crap. Look, they wrote me a beautiful speech. I might as well throw it right out the window.
Earlier in Iowa, the former president seemed confused about where he was.
A very big hello to a place where we've done very well, Sioux Falls. Thank you very much, Sioux Falls. And thank you.
A Republican official stepped up and said, Sioux City, not Sioux Falls.
So, Sioux City, let me ask you.
The irony is that Trump in Sioux City was using a teleprompter, which he claimed was a safety net.
With a teleprompter, you can't make a mistake. The only one that can't do a teleprompter is Biden, because he can't read the He can't read the teleprompter. He can't do anything. I ended the NAFTA disaster, the worst trade deal ever made, and replaced it with the brand new USMCA, the best trade deal ever made. They all say a giant win for farmers and manufacturers, Mexico and Canada.
If Trump is cracking up or abusing certain medications or just showing signs of strain, it could be due to his New York civil fraud trial. Trump appears to be on the verge of losing the case, having his businesses in New York eradicated and possibly getting fined hundreds of millions of dollars.
In a way, it's even more fundamental. This puts him out of business. This case is putting him out of business. Even if, absolutely. And that's his essence. And I think that he's terrified that, he's not going to have the Trump Tower anymore. He's not going to have all the things that he has bragged about for decades, for his 60, for 6 decades. That's going to be gone, and he won't be able to run a business. And the question is, how much money is he going to be allowed to keep from that? And that to him that's striking at the core.
Also at Trump's core is a reflexive impulse to strike back verbally and try to ridicule anybody who criticizes him. In recent speeches, Trump's childish style has been on full display.
That Chris Christie, a guy shouts out, "He's a fat pig." Now he shouted out, "Chris Christie is a fat pig." Then they shouted out, "Bill Barr is a fat pig. He's a slob. He's a fat pig." You're not allowed to use the word fat. You're not allowed to say that. So they say, "Bill Barr, sir, he's a fat pig." And I say, listen, Bill Barr is not a fat pig. Chris Christie is not a fat pig, sir. I defend them.
He's a baby. Whenever you want to criticize him, in any way, that's the way he responds. And you and I are both lucky enough to be parents. And if we had a child who conducted themselves like that, we'd send them to their room, not to the White House. And I think character is destiny for this country. And we've got to make a decision about what the character of the person should be who sits behind the desk in the Oval Office.
In the meantime, Trump's character could pile up courtroom fines and possibly land him in jail. As the Political headline says, judge reinstates gag order against Trump. U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan had briefly paused the gag order in the federal case, but she put it back into effect Sunday while Trump appeals. Quote, in a 9-page Sunday evening opinion, Chutkan reinstated her order, rejecting his claims that the order was unclear and that it unconstitutionally restricted his free speech rights. In addition, Chutkan noted that one of Trump's recent statements, an attack on his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, would almost certainly violate the order had it been in effect. Trump, citing an ABC report that Meadows had accepted immunity to testify to federal prosecutors, said last week that such cooperation was for weaklings and cowards, and that any unfavorable testimony about him would have been a lie. Chutkan said this remark would plainly have cut against her order had it been in effect, and for good reason. Still, Trump supporters don't seem to care about judges, gag orders, or even jury convictions. In their view, Trump can do no wrong.
Is there anything that could cause you not to support Donald Trump?
No. No, because I know that there's nothing that would come out that would make me not want to support President Trump.
So what do you make of these criminal charges and moving around to classified documents and trying to overthrow the election illegally?
Well, for one, you're talking to someone that was there on January 6th. He didn't try to overthrow the election, okay? What he tried to do was the legal way, and what actually happened was the staged coup that took place on January 6th so that they could take the electoral powers to actually certify the election. What Trump was trying to do was very legal. All these phony indictments is all going to bite the Democrats in the butt, because it had to happen to Trump first. This is so that the American people can accept it for when Trump comes back, and the revenge tour is going to be the sweetest.
This is not a battle. This is not a battle of Republican versus Democrat, conservative versus liberal. This is a battle of righteous, patriotic Americans versus the depraved. I mean, this is like righteousness versus depravity.
What does never surrender mean?
Well, I mean, it's pretty clear what the deep state's trying to do, you know? They're trying to throw him in jail for something he basically never did, so.
The never surrender is a little bit confusing because this is his mugshot, right?
This is his mugshot, yeah.
And he was literally surrendering when he was doing this.
Yeah. See, now you're trying to spin it, but.
If Donald Trump does not win, what do you do?
I hope that I'm going to die.
You want to die if Donald Trump doesn't win?
I do. I don't want to live like this anymore. You like our country the way it is now?
You know, not only is he for America, but he can save the world. Not just America.
What will you do if Donald Trump loses in 2024?
Time to pack up and move to the mountains.
Which mountains would you go to?
New Hampshire.
I don't trust Biden at all. Not at all.
I don't trust any Democrats at all. I mean,
but you trust Trump?
Of course I do. I mean, he's got nothing to lose. You know, he didn't have to start what he started in 2015. You know, it's all on his own. He's in there treating him really bad. What they're doing to him, it's not right. I mean, everybody loved Donald J. Trump for years and years and years. And what he did for New York City, he runs for president, coming down that escalator, and everybody hated him. Why? He did so much for New York.
He allegedly broke the law. How do we know if he broke the law or not?
What law did he break?
Well, mishandling of classified documents, overinflating his assets in New York.
Yeah, but where do you get that from? What about Biden?
So how do you explain all these charges? How do you explain all? What's going
they're all
on?
made up.
They're all made up.
Yep. They're all made up.
So the election interference in Georgia, Sidney Powell and Kenneth Chesebro, who worked for Donald Trump as lawyers, they just pled guilty and admitted.
I don't believe that either.
You don't believe they pled guilty?
Nope.
So when they said that they were.
I never turn on the news. I never turn on the TV. I never listen to any of that.
And there you have it. Many Trump supporters live in their own fantasy bubble and believe the fix is in if Donald Trump gets in any trouble. Trump, though, seems to know his trouble could have real consequences. And that's why the Trump MAGA cheers notwithstanding, Trump's emotional state and cognitive abilities increasingly seem to be melting down. By the way, the language from some of Donald Trump's supporters seems to be getting more extreme by the day.
What can Donald Trump do for you, or what has he done for you?
Help homeless people, honestly, and dogs. Lower vet bills, you know.
How would he do that?
I don't know. He's got the power to.
Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.